Engineering and Technology, and we will going to learn about dynamics of machinery. And in this topic we will study about static as well as dynamic balancing. In this topic we will study balancing of single mass by 1 and 2 masses as well as balancing of several masses in a different planes. So let us study about the same. First of all, static balancing. In this static balancing, we will study about balancing of several masses in the same plane, analytical method, and balancing of a single mass by a single mass in a same plane. It means we will study in a same plane method for static balancing. Next one is a dynamic balancing. So for this dynamic balancing, we will study about balancing of single mass in a different planes, balancing of a single mass by two masses as well as balancing of several masses in different planes. So we will study static as well as dynamic balancing. In our case, let us study our first topic. Our first topic is balancing of single mass by a single plane. Let us assume there is a shaft and there is a mass m1 attached at radius r1. Okay. Now assume if this shaft is rotated at omega angular velocity, then what will happen? This mass will generate the centrifugal force towards outside. If the centrifugal force will be generated towards outside, that centrifugal force value is m1 omega square r1. Now this centrifugal force will move towards outside, hence the shaft will be bended by this centrifugal force itself. Now let us we need to assume that we have to balance both these masses in a same plane. So the first mass is m1 is balanced by the second mass m2. So here we will say m1 as our disturbing mass and mass m2 as our balancing mass. Just like the seesaw, we need to balance both the masses. Okay, so if the masses were different, the radius may be different, but both the forces acted on this system should be equal. Now let us assume centrifugal force of first mass m1. What is the centrifugal force of m1? It is m1 omega square r1. What is the centrifugal force of mass m2? It is m2 omega square r2. Now if this system will balance itself, then what will happen? Fc1 is equal to Fc2, and by this we can understand that m1 omega square r1 is equal to m2 omega square r2, and by this case we can say that m1 r1 is equal to m2 r2. So here we can balance single mass by a single mass, and this can be balanced by balancing the centrifugal force itself. Now let us have our another theory. Balancing of a single mass by two different masses. So let us assume there is a shaft. The mass is rotated at this shaft. Okay, and this mass is m1 at radius. This mass is m at a radius r. Now assume there is the another mass which need to balance this disturbing mass, which is m at a radius r. So the balance mass, first balance mass is m1 r1. Next one, it is attached at a plane A. It means in our case, what is there? The plane of this mass m and r is different from the mass m1 and r1. So now let us assume the next mass. That next mass is m2. It is attached at radius r2 and the plane of this mass is c. Now let us have the length. So here total length between mass m1 and mass m2 is L. The length between m1 and m is L1. The length between m and m2 is L2. Okay. Now let us discuss about the planes. First plane is of mass m1. It is A. Second plane is of mass m, which is B. Third plane is of mass m2, which is C. It means all of these masses are at different planes. Okay. Now let us study next topic. Here we have all the centrifugal forces. First centrifugal force, which is of m. What is the centrifugal force of mass m? It is m omega square r. Next one, we consider mass m1. So what is the centrifugal force of mass m1? It is m1 omega square r1. What is the centrifugal force of mass m2? It is m2 omega square r2. Now as we see in this diagram, what it will say? It will say us that mass m is completely balanced by both these masses in a different planes. So we can say, if it is statically balanced, we can say Fc is equal to Fc1 plus Fc2. It means we will get the direct answer as mr omega square is equal to m1 r1 omega square plus m2 r2 omega square. Now if we neglect this omega square, what we can say? M into r is equal to m1 r1 plus m2 r2, as we have already discussed previously. Now let us assume the dynamic balancing. What is the dynamic balancing? The dynamic balancing part is we need to consider the moments tends to apply on the system. Now let us assume A or C plane. Let us assume first of all by taking moment about C plane. So if we are taking moment about C plane, what will happen? The force which is of with respect to the m1, which is of Fc1. So Fc1 into perpendicular distance with respect to the plane C, which is L. We can say Fc1 into L. Now force Fc only with respect to the mass m. So here Fc1 into L1 should be equal to Fc1 into L should be equal to the mass, should be equal to the force Fc into perpendicular distance with respect to the C. It means L2. So that we can say Fc1 into L is equal to Fc into L2. Now let us taking moment about A. So what should be the value? If we are taking moment about A, here we have the m2 mass. So by this m2 mass we have the centrifugal force as Fc2. So here Fc2 into L is equal to Fc into perpendicular distance. It means L1. So that we can write Fc2 into L, Fc into is equal to Fc into L2. So that we will get the final equation in this form. So this is the dynamic balancing. Now in this case, if we know the radius r1, if we know the mass m as well as radius r, we can easily find out mass m1. If we know the mass m, radius r and radius r2, we can easily find out the mass m2. By all this equation, we can easily find out the masses. Now remember one thing, these are the very basic theories of balancing. By these theories, we can only understand what the balancing is and how it can be useful for us. The balancing system is only used in each and every rotating as well as reciprocating masses. And as we all know, we all are using in mechanical as well as automobile engines, we are using the rotating and reciprocating masses. So this is very, very, very important topic for us. Now let us assume the next one, analytical method, balancing of several masses in a same plane. We need to assume there is a single plane only. So here, let us assume OX axis. There are 4 different masses, M1, M2, M3 and M4. So here M1, we assume it is at radius R1 and the centrifugal force is Fc1. Here M2, so radius is R2 and the centrifugal force is Fc2. Next one is M3, mass and centrifugal force Fc3. M4, centrifugal force is Fc4. Now as we all know, centrifugal force is m omega square r. If it is m1 r1, we can say m1 omega square r1. If it is m2, we can say m2 omega square r2. And it is equal for m3 and m4, like m3 omega square r3, m4 omega square r4. This theory, the graphical method of this theory, we have already discussed in our previous chapter, okay, previous lectures. So here, let us assume the analytical method for this. Now as we all know, each and every component, I repeat, each and every mass having 2 different components. One in the sine, in the cos side and another one is in the sine side. It means one the horizontal component, another one should be the vertical component. If here Fc1 is our force, So FC1 having horizontal as well as vertical components. Same as FC2. It is also have horizontal as well as vertical component, and the similar should be for FC3 and FC4. So now let us calculate all the horizontal component of our system. So here we have to write sigma of F horizontal. Horizontal, it means H. So we have to write sigma of FH is equal to, first of all, FC1 cos theta 1 plus FC2 cos theta 2 plus up to so on if we are having number of masses. Let us say n masses. So plus 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 FCn cos theta n. Now here in our case, what is FC? It is m omega square r. Omega square is constant for each and everything. Hence, we need to neglect it. So what we can write for horizontal force? We have to write m1r1 cos theta 1 plus m2r2 cos theta 2 plus m3r3 cos theta 3 plus m4r4 cos theta 4. And if we are having n number of masses, we can write plus 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 mn rn cos theta n. Now let us consider sign. So here vertical forces. So what we can write? Sigma of force stands for F, vertical force, it means V. So we have to write sigma of F V. Now as we have already discussed, we omit omega square. Hence what we can write? M1 R1 sin theta 1 plus M2 R2 sin theta 2 plus up to so on if we are having n number of masses. So here we will get vertical as well as horizontal component. This method is also known as equilibrium method, okay, resultant method. So here we will going to find out the resultant value. So here let us find resultant FR. So what is FR? Is equal to root of horizontal square plus vertical square, and by putting all this value we will get the resultant force. And by this resultant force, if we know the balance mass radius, we can easily find out the mass of a system. Is it clear? Good. Now let us find out theta. Now as we all know, for the theta value, vertical by horizontal, we have to put the equation. Theta is equal to tan inverse sigma of all the forces vertical by sigma of all the forces horizontal. Now remember student, by this method we will get only the resultant of it, okay, and what we want, we need the balancing of itself, okay. Now by this time we know what is resultant and what is balancing, but let me explain one time. Resultant, it means all the forces having the effect in a forces, the amplitude of forces or the effect of forces in the direction of applied force. So the summation of all the forces will give us the total of resultant of force. It means where all these forces, the sum of the forces are going to take place. Okay. Now, if we want balancing, we need exactly opposite to the resultant one. Fine. So here we have to consider, if the angle of resultant is theta, what should be the angle of balancing? It should be theta plus 180, because it should be exactly opposite to the system. So here in this case we have to consider theta dash as theta plus 180. What is the reason? Exactly correct. As you all know, because theta is the resultant one, we need the balancing. Balancing is exactly opposite to the resultant one, and we will get theta dash as theta plus 180. So here this is our theory of total, static as well as dynamic balancing. In this chapter we have already covered several masses in a different planes, several masses in the same plane, several masses in a different plane for the dynamic balancing. Okay, the next topic we will cover in our next chapter. Thank you so much. Thank you.